Give me the next 5 minutes and I'll teach you how to become a better animator, and I'll be going over everything like setup and animation tips, so make sure to watch till the end so you get everything. So when setting up my sets, I normally just have a base plate that has a bunch of little plates on it, because the gray base plates are actually really expensive compared to all the other base plates. So what I do instead is I grab my bin full of plates and I attach them all over my green base plate. And I have an older base plate that I do it to because I don't want to ruin any other base plates by peeling them off. But whenever you zoom in, you still get that really good effect. And here's an example of an animation I made like this.
Spider-Man won't stand a chance now.
Spidey, no time to say.
So when doing backgrounds, you only need it to look good from one side. So cut everything in half. I'm not kidding. So let's compare the front of my animation set to the back. See, that looks really good. But now let me show you the back. But see how the back's all hollow? That's because you don't want to waste any brick on the back. But after you're done with the setup, you still get that really good Rocky Mountains effect. You can build setup like Michael Hickok's or fight scene animation setups like nonstop animations. From here, it's really what you want to do. So now we're going to go over lighting. So I normally have my lights in a kind of triangular setup. These two photos will show you what I mean in a little bit more detail. But watch what happens whenever I turn out one light at a time. So whenever animating, you want to keep your room light off because it can give a lot of light flicker, because light bulbs like that give off a ton of flicker, and I didn't know that in some of my earlier animations, and it made my earlier animations look really bad. But lights can be one of the things that make your animations good or bad. You could be a really good animator, but if your lights aren't set up right, it could make the light flicker really bad, and then people just don't want to watch your videos.
Nope.
Because either the light flicker's annoying them, or it just makes it look really cheap, if you know what I mean. But the last thing I have to show you for this part is the camera stand. But there are 3 parts to this camera stand that you need to know if you want to build your own. So first you have the back wall, and you'll see I use these bracket pieces so you can get your phone squeezed in there so it doesn't move. Also, just BTY, I have like a softer phone case so it doesn't damage the back of my phone. Alright, so the second part of a camera stand that you guys need to know is the bars. These bars will make sure your phone doesn't wiggle. So now seeing that, your phone could just slide right in here. The third and last part is the ceiling, or roof I like to call it. So now that you have your camera stand built, you can go straight to animating. So now let's go to animation tips. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so you might want to sticky tack down your phone stand just a little bit because you do want to have a lot of camera movements. I'm going to link a video by Nonstop in the description about that because I think he can explain it a lot better than me. So first we're going to talk about easing in and easing out. So I want you to tell me which one of these animations looks better. So obviously the second one looks better because it looks more realistic because nobody moves that fast in real life. And you should try to make your animations look real. But anyway, I'm going to teach you how you can get that effect. So you're going to start with a minifigure. And this really applies to anything. And you're going to move his arm forwards the smallest bit. And then you're just going to keep moving his arm forward little bits and little bits. But as the arm goes forward more, the movements are going to get way bigger. And that will create the effect of easing in and easing out. But I'm going to speed this part up just enough so the video goes a little bit faster. If you want to skip this part though, the time you need to skip to is on the top left corner. So that animation took 23 frames, but we're going to watch it. So for this animation, I made it towards a 12 to 13 FPS. You'll see that there was light flicker in the background because I had my room light on, and like I said, my room light isn't that bad at flicker, but just enough that you can see it. But anyway, not that bad of an animation. I definitely have done better. And anyway, let's move on to more tips. So whenever you're doing fight scenes, you can use paper effects. This is a technique I learned from Warrior Studios. I'm going to give him credit, and I think he did a video somewhat like this. I think it was more of a fight scene tutorial video. I'm going to link it in the description because I found it really helpful. But what you're going to do is you're going to take some sticky tack. You can use this for fists and impacts. I'll show you an example a little bit later. But what you're going to do is you're going to shine a light into the paper, and that will give it a cool effect. Here's an example of this. So I think that pretty much wraps up the tutorial for today. If you haven't already, subscribe and like, and drop a comment if there's something that I didn't cover in this video or you want to see in a future video. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.